Hi, my name is Corey and today I'm going to share with you an amazing recipe idea from Crock-Pot. Today we're going to be doing pulled pork in our slow cooker, and then we're going to turn that delicious pulled pork meat into a sandwich, a soup, and a quesadilla. I'm going to show you how to take one roast and make 3 different meals. So let's get started. First of all, we're going to take a roast of pork. It can be a shoulder, it can be a pork butt, it can be a pork tenderloin, depending on your budget and depending on how many people you're going to serve. You tailor it to your needs. So what I'm doing is I'm adding salt and pepper to our roast. I've preheated my frying pan, and we're doing this because we're going to brown the roast in the frying pan and get nice brown bits and flavor started on our roast. Okay, now that our roast is browned on all sides, we're going to bring this over to our crock pot. I love using my slow cooker. It is a hands-free way to cook your meals. Often when you're entertaining, you have so many details that you need to take care of that it's fabulous to have your crock pot doing your work for you. So what I'm doing is taking my brown pork roast, I'm putting it into my crock pot slow cooker, and then here's the thing. Now all you have to do is add a few little ingredients and set the timer and let it go, and you're free to go and enjoy yourself. So what I'm doing is I'm just cutting up a couple onions. This is where you can use your taste buds to suit what you like. If you like lots of onion, go ahead. But basically what I'm going to do is add a little bit of moisture, add some vegetables that would give us a nice soup stock, because we're going to, after we've cooked our roast, we are going to be making a soup with our leftovers if we happen to have any pulled pork leftovers. They are a favorite in my home, and I'm sure once you make this recipe you'll find it to be a favorite in yours too. I've just chopped up 1 celery stalk, and I'm going to do a carrot. Now I've washed this carrot. You can peel it if you like, but as long as you do give it a good scrub and take off any bits, that's great. But a peeler, you know, some people like to take it off. When you are peeling your vegetables though, just be sure to take a little bit of the top layer off. Okay, so I'll chop this up, we're going to add it, and that is it. And the liquid we're choosing to use today is a dark beer. You could add some water, you could add some wine, you could add some chicken stock. So use your imagination or to what your family would like. So we're just going to add this. Look at the foam. Lovely. We're going to set our timer to low if we're going to be cooking for 6 to 8 hours, or high if we're in a bit of a rush and we want to be done in 4 hours. We set our lid on, and the important part of using your crock pot is having a tight-fitting lid. This allows the heat to remain inside, bring your food up to a safe temperature, and one tip you always need to remember when using your slow cooker is to never peek, and that's why you have a glass lid, so you can see what's happening inside there. So we're going to let our roast sit for 4 to 8 hours, and when we're ready, we're going to pull it out and have our next meal in hand. So what I've done now is fast forward. We have our roast, which is shrunken down, and then I've also pulled off the liquid and that we've generated. You can see how I added about 12 ounces of beer to it, but the juices from the pork, the juices from the vegetables, and the beer and the steam have all made lots and lots of liquid, which is a treasure in my world. So you never throw this out. This is the base of your soup stock. So we'll save this for our soup, and then we're going to go over here, and this is what our meat looks like when it's been cooked. You can see that it's tender. It flakes apart with your fork, so you take 2 forks, you pull your pork apart. So now the pork is pulled apart, it's nice and kind of, you're looking for stringy, that's the right word. And then to this you're going to add your favorite barbecue sauce. It could be a barbecue sauce that you make on your own, it could be store-bought, but basically this is going to infuse into the pork. And then 2 options here. You can use it just like this if your pork is still hot. This can go right back into your crock pot if you're serving a large party, and then you serve it buffet style. So you have your pulled pork mixed in with your barbecue sauce in the crock pot, so it's holding its heat for your buffet service, or you're just serving it like this. Now, as I mentioned before, if you are lucky enough to have leftovers, these leftovers are extremely valuable for the next day. You can make a sandwich, so basically just taking your pulled pork with some cheese, I love to add some caramelized onions and peppers, almost like as if you were making a fajita, but you're substituting the fajita meat with the pulled pork. We're adding some onions and peppers onto a nice whole grain bun, and you have a fabulous, fabulous luncheon idea. Okay, now as promised, the next thing we're going to do, we'll go back to where we cooked our pork. We've drained off the juice and the liquid that was cooked from it, and we're going to be using that. As you can see, I've put this in the refrigerator, and to the top will rise the fat. And when you're cooking with a roast of pork, often there is quite a bit of fat, but don't worry about it. There's a lot of flavor, and when you refrigerate the stock, you can just pull that right off, okay? So that white, and then you've got a very lean, flavorful, delicious, delicious stock. So we don't ever throw this out. This is gonna go right back into our pot. You can go right back into the crock pot if you like and let it sit again with the onions and everything. We're gonna add a can of black beans, and then a little bit of chicken stock or beef stock just to bring those flavors together. We're gonna take our leftover onions and peppers, and we're gonna toss those in there. And this is gonna cook again and come together. All these flavors go so beautifully. You could add some fresh cilantro and parsley. You can puree this all together, and then at the last moment, add some of your pulled pork meat if you have any left over. For these ideas and so many more, check out your crockpot.ca website.